Welcome back guys. Now in this video let's discuss about placental development and hormones which are getting produced from the placenta. Guys, whatever you are seeing here in these images, these are the human placentas. The important points about the human placentas are discoid, which means they are disc shaped, okay, and hemochorial and deciduate. What exactly I mean by hemochorial? These human placentas, they are rich with the blood, okay, there is blood which is present in the human placenta, so it is hemochorial. Now they are deciduate. Why exactly I am saying it as a deciduate? Deciduate means after delivery of the baby, this human placenta will be simply shedded out. But in certain primates, placenta will be reabsorbed back into the body. Okay, so why I am calling it as a deciduate? It will be shedded out after delivery. That is a deciduation. Okay, now guys, what is the functional unit of a placenta? The functional unit of a placenta is known as a cotyledon. What exactly is a cotyledon? Guys, in this two images, please concentrate. This is the fetal side of the placenta, or the fetal surface of the placenta. Here, this dark red color, this is actually the maternal side of the placenta. The maternal side of the placenta is divided into smaller units because of this cleft-like appearance. Okay, these clefts are dividing the maternal side of the placenta into small lobules. These lobules are known as the cotyledons, and cotyledons are the functional unit of the placenta. After saying this, guys, let's see some basic important points which keep on coming up in the exams. Placenta formation begins by as early as 6 weeks. Weight of the placenta at term. At term, human placenta weighs almost half kilo, that is 500 grams. The ratio of weight of the placenta to the weight of the baby is, see, placenta weight to the baby weight. For example, as rough as placenta will be weighing 500 grams, baby will be 5 to 6 kilos. So ratio is 1:6. Placental weight to the fetal weight, it is 1:6. The period of gestation at which weight of the placenta and weight of the baby are almost equal. What is the time period at which placental weight and the baby's weight are equal? It is at 17 weeks. Okay, at 17 weeks, the weight of the placenta and the weight of the baby are almost same. What exactly is Nitterback's membrane? Guys, this is a very important concept. Please try to understand this. See, if this is the embryo, okay, this is the embryo. Now, embryo is going to implant into the decidua. This is the decidua and this is the embryo. Now, embryo should have to implant into the decidua, but it should not go too deeper into the decidua, and it should not go deeper into the myometrium, right? See, let me show you here. If this is the uterus, imagine that this is the uterus. Here is the embryo. Now, this embryo should not go too deep into the wall of the uterus. If it is going too deep into it, the placenta will be forming too deep inside the wall of the uterus. That is something bad. So there is this limiting membrane. Okay, there is this limiting membrane which doesn't allow the trophoblast to invade too deep into the myometrium or into the decidua. So this membrane is called as Nitterback's membrane. Again I am repeating, please concentrate. This Nitterback's membrane, it doesn't allow the trophoblast to invade deep into the wall of the uterus. If absence of this Nitterback membrane is there, for example, if the Nitterback's membrane is absent, what happens? Now the trophoblast of the embryo, okay, please concentrate here. The trophoblast of the embryo, especially syncytial trophoblast, it will invade deep into the myometrium and it will lead to morbid adherent placentas like placenta accreta, increta, percreta. So, what is the limiting membrane which doesn't allow the syncytial trophoblast to invade deep into the wall of the uterus? It is a Nitterback's membrane. Okay, it's a fibrinoid layer which limits the invasion of a trophoblast into the decidua. What exactly is this fetal fibronectin? See, fetal fibronectin is also known as a trophoblast glue. Okay, Now, why I am calling it as a trophoblast glue? Because, see, this fetal fibronectin is the one which helps in the attachment of placenta to the decidua. Okay, think like this. So, it is known as a trophoblastic glue. It helps in adhesion of the placenta to the decidua. Okay, now, macrophages which are present in the placenta are called as, see, macrophages in different organs are called with different names. Okay, so the macrophages are also present in the placenta and they are called as half-bar cells. Okay, half-bar cells are the macrophages which are present in the placenta. Now, placenta localization scan is done during, it should be done during, guys, placenta formation is happening somewhere by 6 weeks. Okay, but this placenta, because of the growth of the uterus, because of the remodeling of the uterus, the placenta place will change accordingly. Okay, according to the time, the placenta change its location. So, in the first trimester, second trimester, it keeps on moving. But in third trimester, by the term, it stays in one place. So, placenta localization scan should be done in third trimester. If you want to know where exactly the placenta is, it should be done in third trimester. If you do this in first trimester and second trimester, you won't get the exact position. Why? Because it keeps on changing with the time. Okay. Now, guys, let's see. Placenta developed from how many sources? What are the sources for the placental development? Placenta is going to be formed by the baby or placenta is going to be formed by the mother? Actually, placenta is a feto-maternal organ, which means placenta is going to be formed by both baby as well as mother. Feto-maternal in origin. Fetus will contribute in the development of placenta as well as mother will contribute in the development of placenta. So, what are the two sides of the placenta? There is one maternal side. Okay, on one side there is this maternal side and the other side is the fetal side. Okay, maternal side is going to be developed from the mother and fetal side is going to be contributed by the fetus. So, important point is chorion frondosum. Okay, chorion frondosum is actually the fetal component. Okay, this one. Okay, chorion frondosum is actually the fetal component of the placenta and the maternal component is known as decidua basalis. Very important MCQs. Out of the total thickness of placenta, 4/5 of the thickness of the placenta is coming from chorion frondosum and 1/5 of the thickness of the placenta, it is from the decidua basalis. Decidua basalis forms maternal component, chorion frondosum forms the fetal component. Okay, now guys, in this image what you can see is the basis for the development of placenta, how actually placenta forms. Please be very attentive. See, here what you are seeing is a embryo, blastocyst. Sperm meets with the ovum, fertilization happen, there will be zygote formation. Zygote is going to divide and forms the embryo. Embryo will form morula, blastula and blastocyst. Right now we are at a stage of blastocyst. Now you can clearly see here that these yellow cells which are present over here is known as inner cell mass. See, the inner cell mass is the one which actually forms the baby. Okay, true baby is formed from the inner cell mass. Surrounding the inner cell mass, what you can see here is a trophoblast. Okay, all this thing which you are seeing here is a trophoblast. Now this trophoblast is helping in the formation of like fetal membranes, chorion, amnion, all these things. So trophoblast forms extra embryonic things. Okay, extra embryonic things in the sense placenta, placental development, amniotic fluid, amniotic cavity, all these are going to be coming from the trophoblast, but baby is going to come from the inner cell mass. What I want to put into your mind is, see, there is this part of trophoblast which is invading into the myometrium, this part. See, that part of trophoblast is known as syncytial trophoblast. So, how many types of trophoblast are there? There are two types of trophoblast. See, this trophoblast is known as cytotrophoblast. It is actually made up of cells. This is a cytotrophoblast. This trophoblast, it is a syncytial trophoblast. Okay. Now, later what happens? The syncytial trophoblast is going deep into the decidua. It is going deep into the endometrium. Later what's happening? See, in the syncytial trophoblast, there is formation of these cavities, formation of the lacunae. Okay, lacunae are going to be formed in the syncytial trophoblast. Okay, what we are saying, syncytial trophoblast is invading into the decidua or endometrium. And in the syncytial trophoblast, there is formation of the lacunae. And please concentrate. The cytotrophoblast, see these cells in this image, the cytotrophoblast is going into the syncytial trophoblast. Can you appreciate here? See the cytotrophoblast, they are forming villus projections into the syncytial trophoblast. Okay, well and good. Next, what happens? See, this lacunae, the lacunae whatever are present in the syncytial trophoblast, they will be filled with the maternal blood. Okay, the spiral arterioles of the mother, they are going to release, they are going to drain blood into the lacunae. Okay, well and good. So mother is giving blood. See, mother is giving blood first. Now later what happens? Maternal blood has arrived. Later what happens is, into this villus projections, fetal blood will also come. Maternal blood is in the lacunae. Now into this villus projections, fetal blood vessels will grow. So now fetal blood is there in the villus, maternal blood is there in the lacunae. Now the exchange of the gases will happen, exchange of nutrition will happen, exchange of excretory products will happen. So what I am trying to put into your mind is the basics. Initially the initially the syncytial trophoblast is going to invade into the endometrium. Now this syncytial trophoblast will develop the lacunae. Now into the lacunae, maternal blood will drain. Now fetal cytotrophoblast, okay, cytotrophoblast is going to grow into the syncytial trophoblast, and fetal blood vessels are going to come into the villus projections. Later exchange of gases will happen. Now what and all we have discussed so far, let's see more in detail. Okay, see, initially you are going to have a morula. That morula is going to form a blastocyst. In the blastocyst, you can clearly see here, this is the inner cell mass surrounded by the trophoblast. Okay, now the cytotrophoblast, whatever you are seeing here, this is the cytotrophoblast. Cytotrophoblast is surrounded by this green color thing, which is nothing but a syncytial trophoblast. Now in the syncytial trophoblast, you can clearly see that the lacunae are going to develop. These lacunae are going to develop. Later, these lacunae are going to be filled with the maternal blood. Now maternal blood has arisen. What happened? Fetal blood should have to go there for the exchange. Now let's see how exactly the fetal blood is going there, how exactly the villas are going to form. Okay, now please concentrate. In this image, we are going to discuss about how placental villi are going to form. Guys, see, this is the decidua. Okay, this brown color, like this gray color thing is the decidua. Now into the decidua, see, this violet color thing is coming. That violet color thing is nothing but the syncytial trophoblast. Okay, see, this is the syncytial trophoblast, that violet color area. Now this green color cells, whatever you are seeing here, they are the cytotrophoblast. Green color cells, see these green color cells, they are nothing but the cytotrophoblast. This violet color thing is nothing but a syncytial trophoblast. This green color thing is nothing but a cytotrophoblast. The green color cells, they are actually the cells, so they are cytotrophoblast. Now what we have discussed, see, in the syncytial trophoblast, you are going to develop the lacunae. These lacunae are going to develop. Okay, well and good. And those lacunae are going to be filled with the maternal blood. But let's concentrate on the development of placental villi. See, actually, initially, this cytotrophoblast, it is going to grow into the syncytial trophoblast. Okay, cytotrophoblast is going to grow into the syncytial trophoblast. See, the growth is happening. Next, what happens? See, now please concentrate. The cytotrophoblast has grown into the syncytial trophoblast. Along with the cytotrophoblast, please concentrate. This green color, okay, the this light green color thing. See, this thing is also coming into the cytotrophoblast. Okay, see, what I'm trying to say is, please concentrate. Now what we are discussing, see, the cytotrophoblast actually it's forming the initial growth, that it's known as a primary villi. So primary villi is nothing but the cytotrophoblast growing into the syncytial trophoblast. Later what happens? Into the primary villi, this light green color, that is nothing but a mesoderm. Mesoderm will also grow into the primary villi. The moment mesoderm grows into the primary villi, now you have to call it as a secondary villi. So what you are seeing here is a secondary villi. So secondary villi is nothing but there is this cytotrophoblast. Now in the cytotrophoblast, there is this mesodermal core. Okay, mesoderm is going to enter into the cytotrophoblast. Later what happens? There is development of tertiary villi. So what exactly is tertiary villi, sir? Tertiary villi is nothing but cytotrophoblast with mesodermal core. Into the mesodermal core, the fetal blood vessels are going to develop. So tertiary villi is nothing but a cytotrophoblast. Inside there is a mesodermal core, and inside the mesodermal core there is development of the fetal blood vessels. So in the fetal blood vessels, what will be there? Fetal blood will be there. So please concentrate. Now this is a tertiary villus. Cytotrophoblastic protrusion. Inside there is this mesoderm. Okay, mesoderm, and there is a development of the fetal blood vessels. Okay. Now what and all we have discussed now. Please see here in a cross-sectional image. This is a primary villi. What exactly is a primary villi? Primary villi is nothing but syncytiotrophoblast. Okay, syncytiotrophoblast and cytotrophoblast. Actually, it's a cytotrophoblast growing into syncytiotrophoblast. That's what we have discussed. See, cytotrophoblast is growing into the syncytiotrophoblast. So, if I do the cross section of the primary villus, this is what you can see. Okay, inside there is the cytotrophoblast which is surrounded by the syncytiotrophoblast. Okay. Now, if I am discussing about the secondary villi is nothing but into the cytotrophoblast or into the primary villi, there is going to be extension of the mesoderm. So, please concentrate. Inside the primary villus, there is development of, or there is like a protrusion of the mesoderm into the primary villi. So, this is called as a secondary villi. Now, what exactly is a tertiary villi? Tertiary villi is nothing but in the mesoderm, fetal blood vessels are going to develop. So, the blood vessels of fetus are going to develop in the secondary villi. Now, whenever blood vessels develop, it is known as tertiary villi. Okay. Now, what are the exam questions which will be coming up? The exam questions are nothing but when primary villus is going to form, secondary villus is going to form, and tertiary villus is going to form. Primary villus is going to be formed on day 13th post fertilization, 13 days after fertilization. Primary villus is going to form, and primary villus is nothing but it's a solid cytotrophoblastic extension into syncytiotrophoblast. Now, what exactly is secondary villus? Secondary villus is nothing but a mesodermal core is going to be seen in the primary villus. In the primary villus, in the center there is mesodermal core, and it is going to be seen on day 16th post fertilization. And tertiary villus is nothing but first time fetal blood vessels are going to seen in the villus. Okay, this is called as a tertiary villus, and it is going to happen on 17th day. Okay, in the previous editions we are going to say something like the tertiary villus will be seen on day 21st, but with the recent updates, please take this point. Tertiary villus will be seen as early as 17 days after fertilization. Okay, well and good. Now, maternal blood have already arrived into the lacunae in the syncytiotrophoblast. Now, fetal blood is also going to be coming into the tertiary villus. Now, how exchange happen? Does maternal and fetal blood are going to mix? Anyway, maternal blood, fetal blood, are they going to mix? Never. Maternal blood and fetal blood, they will never mix. Okay, take this point. See here, there is something called as placental barrier. What exactly is placental barrier? Guys, please concentrate. See, at the end, these are the villus. Okay, these are the villus which are going to grow into the sinusoidal spaces or lacunae. See, this is a lacunae. Take this. This is a lacunae. Now, into the lacunae, the villus are going to grow. Okay, sir. Now, in between the fetal blood and maternal blood, there are certain structures which doesn't allow fetal blood and maternal blood to mix. So, what are these structures? These structures together known as a placental barrier. Now, please concentrate. Imagine that this box, okay, this box is nothing but a lacunae. Okay, this box is nothing but a lacunae. In the lacunae or in the sinusoidal spaces, what exactly is present? Maternal blood is going to be present here. Maternal blood is going to be seen here. So maternal blood is in the lacunar space. Where exactly is fetal blood? Fetal blood is present in the blood vessels. Here is the blood vessels. So what are the structures which are present in between the maternal blood and fetal blood? First thing is this syncytiotrophoblast is present. Syncytiotrophoblast. Cytotrophoblast is present. Second one, this mesoderm is present. Okay. Third, here the blood vessels are there, right? So blood vessels will be having a basement membrane. So basement membrane of the blood vessels, and see, blood vessels are lined by endothelial cells. So endothelium of the blood vessels. So there are 5 structures which are present in between the maternal blood as well as fetal blood. So those 5 structures are known as placental barrier, includes syncytiotrophoblast, cytotrophoblast, a mesodermal core, a basement membrane of the blood vessels, and endothelium of the fetal capillaries. So at the end of the day, the take home point is fetal blood vessels and fetal blood and maternal blood will never mix. Okay. Now, after this, let's talk about the placental circulation. Guys, placenta have how many circulations? There are 2 individual circulations which are present in the placenta. If I am talking about the circulation, see, this placenta is getting blood from mother. This placenta is getting blood from fetus also. So there are 2 individual circulations. So what exactly are they? It is a uteroplacental circulation from the uterus. From the uterus, some amount of blood is coming to the placenta. So that is a uteroplacental circulation. Actually, the blood is coming from the mother. Uteroplacental circulation means blood from the mother. Okay, from the mother is sending the blood to the uterus. From the uterus, some amount of blood is coming to the placenta. This is uteroplacental circulation. It is going to be established as early as day 15. Okay, so on day 15, uteroplacental circulation will be established. Guys, if you don't find day 15 in the options, you can go with the day 12. But the best option is on day 15, uteroplacental circulation is established. The second circulation is nothing but the fetoplacental circulation. Fetoplacental circulation is going to be established on day 17. Guys, could you able to remember that on day 17, tertiary villus is going to form? Tertiary villus means nothing but the fetal blood vessels are going to be seen in the villus. So whenever fetal blood vessels are there, means fetal blood is coming there. So by day 17, fetus is going to send its blood to the villi. That is, fetoplacental circulation is established on day 17. Maternal circulation, that is uteroplacental circulation, is established on day 15. Now, after saying this, let's discuss a few important single liners. Uterine blood flow at term. Okay, at term, how much amount of blood is coming to the uterus? It is 10% of cardiac output. Almost 750 ml of blood will be coming. Okay, 750 ml of blood will be coming per minute to the uterus. Now, out of whatever is coming to the uterus, how much is actually coming to the placenta? See, uterus is receiving 750, okay. But out of the uterine blood flow, how much is coming to the placenta? Almost 80% will come to the placenta. Okay, see, placenta is very important. 80% of the uterine blood flow will be coming to the placenta. Now, uteroplacental blood flow at term. So, uterus to placenta, how much is coming? Almost 500 to 750 ml will be coming. Okay, almost 500 to 750 ml of blood will be coming from the uterus, the placenta. Most of the blood will be coming to the placenta itself. Now, fetoplacental blood flow at term. See, it is 400 ml per minute. Feto to the placenta. Fetus is sending almost 400 ml of blood per minute to the placenta. Fetal blood volume at term. At term, how much amount of blood is present in a fetus? 125 ml per kg. Okay, so per kg 125 ml will be there. You can calculate accordingly. Okay, if the baby is 2 kilos or 2.5 kilos, you can calculate accordingly. Per kilogram 125 ml of blood will be there. Volume of blood in a mature placenta. Okay, in a mature placenta at term, how much volume of blood will be there? Almost 500 ml. Okay, the capacity of a mature placenta is 500 ml. Very important MCQ. Volume of maternal blood in intervillus space. Okay, see, in the placenta, there is this fetal blood. In the placenta, also maternal blood will be there. Maternal blood is seen in the lacunae. Question is, fetal a fetal-placental blood flow is 400 ml per minute. Fetus is sending almost 400 ml of blood per minute. How much mother is sending? It is almost 150 ml per minute. Okay, volume of maternal blood in the intervillous space is 150 ml per minute. In the entire intervillous space, at a time, almost 150 ml of blood will be there. And in the fetal capillaries, okay, in the fetal capillaries which are present in the villi, almost 400 ml of blood will be there. Now, number of spiral arterioles opening into the intervillous space. I have already said you that into the lacunae or into the intervillous space. The spiral arterioles are the ones which are draining blood. How many spiral arterioles are there in the entire intervillous space? Almost 120 spiral arterioles are going to drain into the intervillous space. Okay. Now, let's talk a few important points, guys. In the umbilical cord, there is this uterine artery and uterine vein. We know that into the umbilical cord. In the umbilical cord, uterine artery is there, uterine vein is there. See, uterine artery, it's actually carrying the deoxygenated blood to the placenta. Okay, from the fetus, deoxygenated blood is carried to the placenta by the uterine artery. And once blood comes to the placenta, the blood will be oxygenated in the placenta, and this oxygenated blood will be taken back to the fetus again by umbilical vein. So, vein is having oxygenated blood, artery is having deoxygenated blood. Okay, this is something very much exceptional for the placenta. Now, what is the pressure in the uterine artery? As it is artery, more pressure will be there, 60 mmHg, and in the uterine vein, 10 mmHg will be there. But see, once after delivery, baby doesn't need any of this uterine artery or uterine vein. So, uterine artery after birth is going to be present as a remnant. Okay, uterine artery will be obliterated and it is going to be present as a remnant. So, what is that remnant? Medial. Okay, it's not median, medial umbilical ligament. So, uterine artery remnant is medial umbilical ligament, and the uterine vein is going to be obliterated and it's going to be present as a ligament near the liver, that is ligamentum teres hepatis. So, ligamentum teres hepatis is nothing but a remnant of umbilical vein in the fetus after birth. Now, let's see methods of placental separation. See, separation of placenta is going to happen when placenta will be separated in the third stage of labor. Okay. Now, placenta will be separated in two different ways. One is 𝐒𝐿's method, Duncan's method. 𝐒𝐿's method is the most common method of placental separation. And please concentrate in 𝐒𝐿's method. S for center. Try to remember it something like this. 𝐒𝐿's method, separation of placenta is from the center. You can clearly see here that the placenta is separated from the center. For example, if this is a placenta. Placenta is going to be separated from the center, but the peripheries are still attached. So, if there is hemorrhage, all this hemorrhage is going to be lying back to the placenta. No hemorrhage is actively seen. So, there will be formation of a retroplacental clot. Important point, retroplacental clot is seen with which type of placental separation? 𝐒𝐿's method. In 𝐒𝐿's method, separation of placenta is happening from the center. But in Duncan's method, please concentrate, separation begins from a periphery. Now, bleeding is seen only after completion of the separation. Yes, okay, once only after complete separation, you can see the bleeding. But with the Duncan's method, please concentrate, the separation is happening from one side of the periphery. So, you can see bleeding from the moment placenta got separated. See, from the moment placenta got separated, you can see the bleeding. But in 𝐒𝐿's method, bleeding is happening, but that is seen only after a complete separation. Now, there is formation of a retroplacental clot. All the blood will accumulate here and it's going to form a retroplacental clot. But there is no such thing as retroplacental clot in the Duncan's method. Now, shiny fetal side is going to present first. See, this is the fetal side of the placenta. We know it. This is the fetal side of the placenta. Okay, that's the place where umbilical cord is going to attach. See, shiny fetal side is going to be seen first. But here, please concentrate in the Duncan's method. In the Duncan's method, the maternal side, reddish maternal side, that's the side of the cotyledons. Okay, that dirty cotyledons will be seen initially. So, shiny fetal side is going to be seen with the 𝐒𝐿's method. Reddish maternal side or the cotyledons are seen with the Duncan's method. 𝐒𝐿's method is more common, least common is Duncan's method. Okay. Now, after this, let's talk about the functions of the placenta. There are many functions of the placenta like respiratory function, nutritive function, excretory, immunological, hormonal, enzymatic function, barrier function. But I mainly concerned about the hormonal function of the placenta. Okay, see, now we are going to discuss what kind of hormones are going to be produced from the placenta. We all know that beta HCG is going to be produced, progesterones are going to be produced, estrogens are going to be produced, human placental lactogen. Now let's discuss all these important hormones which are getting produced from the placenta. But also remember, it's not only the hormonal function. Placenta also performs respiratory, nutritive, excretory, immunological, lot of functions are there. Okay, now see the main site for hormonal synthesis in the placenta. The main site for the hormonal synthesis is syncytial trophoblast. Syncytial trophoblast is enzymatically active. It's a bioactive thing which is mainly concerned about the production of hormones. Very important MCQ. Okay. After this, let's talk about the hormones which are synthesized from the placenta. The first hormone which we are going to discuss is the progesterone. Actually, see, progesterone is going to be synthesized for the first 8 weeks in a pregnancy. For the first 8 weeks, progesterones are synthesized from corpus luteum. It's not the placenta, it's the corpus luteum who is going to produce the progesterone. But after 8 weeks, post 8 weeks, progesterone is going to be produced from placenta. This is known as luteal placental shift. See, from the luteum, from the corpus luteum, placenta is taking over the production of progesterone. This is known as luteal placental shift, which will be happening after 8 weeks post fertilization. Now, progesterone levels at term. At term, there is almost 300 nanograms per ml. Okay, so much amount of progesterone will be there, 300 nanograms per ml, and daily. Okay, the rate every day, the rate of progesterone production per day is almost 250 milligrams per day. Okay, 250 milligrams of progesterones are kept on producing per day. Okay, in a normal pregnancy. But if you are talking about a twin pregnancy, almost double the amount of progesterones will be producing. 500 to 600 milligrams per day can be produced. Now, what is the raw material used by the placenta for the production of progesterone? For producing progesterone, what is the raw material? Progesterone is nothing but a steroid hormone. For the production of steroid hormones, the raw material should be cholesterol. Okay, LDL and cholesterol from the mother. Okay, LDL and cholesterol from the mother will be taken by the placenta, and in the placenta, this cholesterol will be converted to progesterone. Yes, true. Now, see, there are certain conditions where you will see low levels of progesterone. Low level of progesterone is associated with progesterone is going down. See, progesterone is actually a pregnancy hormone. If progesterone is going down, it indicates you that there is something problem with the pregnancy. There is abortion happening. Okay, abortion, in the condition of abortion, there will be low levels of progesterone, and also in the ectopic pregnancy. Okay, ectopic pregnancy is not a normal pregnancy. It's not an intrauterine pregnancy. This is something abnormal. So in ectopic pregnancy also, low levels of progesterone will be there. But high levels of progesterone is associated with molar pregnancy. See, in the molar pregnancy, the trophoblast is going to divide very rapidly. Only trophoblast is growing, especially syncytial trophoblast is growing. Whenever there is so much growth of the syncytial trophoblast, it is producing lots and lots of progesterone. Okay, so in molar pregnancy and RH immunization, high levels of progesterone will be seen, but low levels of progesterone is associated with abortion, ectopic pregnancy. Okay, now after this, guys, the second hormone which I want to discuss is the estrogens. Estrogens production from the placenta. But before discussing about the estrogens, I just want you to know, remember, this is the image. Okay, please see, this is the image of steroid hormone synthesis in the adrenal gland. We have already discussed about this flowchart in the topic of congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Okay, in the topic of CAH, we have discussed this. But why we are discussing the steroidogenesis pathway here? See, cholesterol can be converted into pregnenolone. This pregnenolone can be converted into progesterone. This is what is happening in the placenta. So in the placenta also same pathway is running. Cholesterol from the mother will be taken by the placenta, and in the placenta this cholesterol will be converted into pregnenolone, and pregnenolone will be converted into progesterone. For the conversion of pregnenolone to progesterone, there is need of this enzyme. What is that enzyme? 3-beta hydroxy dehydrogenase. Question is, 3-beta hydroxy dehydrogenase, is it present in the placenta? Yes. See, placenta have 3-beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase. So placenta can produce progesterone. No doubt placenta can produce progesterone without any need from the fetus. But please concentrate, placenta to produce estrogen, it needs an enzyme called as 17-hydroxylase. See, this cholesterol, for the cholesterol to get converted into estrogen, it needs an enzyme 17-hydroxylase. Okay, cholesterol should be converted into 17-hydroxypregnenolone. The 17-hydroxypregnenolone should be converted into dehydroepiandrosterone. This dehydroepiandrosterone, ultimately it should be getting converted into estrogens or estradiol. But wait, for this conversion, the placenta should need an enzyme that is 17-hydroxylase. But there is no such enzyme present in the placenta. So placenta lacks this enzyme 17-hydroxylase. So placenta by its own cannot produce estrogens. So what happens? So how does placenta produce estrogens? See, now the placenta is taking the help of the fetus. Fetal adrenal glands, they lack the enzyme 3-beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase. Not important for us. But fetal adrenal glands have this enzyme which is 17-alpha hydroxylase. In the fetal adrenal glands, 17-alpha hydroxylase is present. So, in the fetal adrenal glands, there is production of dehydroepiandrosterone. So, the dehydroepiandrosterone which is produced in the fetal adrenal glands will be taken by the placenta. Now, in the placenta, what is going to happen? This dehydroepiandrosterone, it will be converted into androstenedione, testosterone and estradiol. Why it can happen? Because placenta have this enzyme 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. We have discussed. Placenta have this enzyme 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. So, DHEAS, dihydroepiandrosterone sulfate actually. Okay, this will be taken from the fetal adrenal glands and it will be converted into estradiol. Okay, why? Because 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase is present in the placenta. For the conversion of testosterone to estradiol, it needs an enzyme aromatase. Even aromatase is present in the placenta. Having said that, now let's actually see what are all the important points about the estrogens. Now, most specific estrogen during pregnancies. There are 3 types of estrogens, E1, E2 and E3. Most specific estrogen during pregnancy is E3, okay, estradiol. Now, E3 is used as a marker of, see, just by looking at the levels of E3, we can know the maternal and fetal well-being MCQ. E3 is a marker of maternal and fetal well-being. Most common estrogen during pregnancy is, it is E2. See, most specific is E3, but most common is E2, estradiol. Now, let's see order of potency of estrogens. Guys, out of E1, E2, E3, who is most potent? E2 is most potent, followed by E3 and E1. Now, placenta lacks the enzyme. I have already discussed that placenta, it does not have which enzyme? 17-alpha hydroxylase. 17-alpha hydroxylase is not there with the placenta, but placenta have 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. So, precursors of estrogen production is, in the placenta is DHEAS, dihydroepiandrosterone sulfate, which is produced from the fetal adrenal glands. Now, this DHEAS will be taken by the placenta. It will be converted into estrogen with the help of enzyme 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, sulfatase and aromatase. With the help of these enzymes, estrogen is going to be produced in the placenta. Now, DHEAS convert to estrogen with the help of, already we have discussed, sulfatase, aromatase and 3-beta hydroxydehydrogenase. Okay. Now, let's see what are the conditions where estrogens are increased. One is a twin pregnancy. See, normal pregnancy itself, estrogens are going to be increased. If there is twin pregnancy, definitely more amount of estrogens will be there, and also RH incompatibility. Okay, RH isoimmunization. Like, even progesterones we have discussed. Progesterones will be increased in the RH isoimmunization. Now, what are the conditions where estrogens are going to be decreased? Whenever there is abortion or fetal demise, automatically estrogen levels will be coming down. And Down syndrome, and whenever there is aromatase deficiency, hypoplasia of fetal adrenal glands, we have discussed. Fetal adrenal glands are the ones which are the sources for the production of estrogens by the placenta. Whenever there is hypoplasia of the fetal adrenal glands, aromatase deficiency, abortion, Down syndrome, these are the conditions where estrogens will be coming down. Now, let's see a few important points about beta HCG. Estrogens is completed. Now, let's talk about the other hormone, that is beta HCG. Direct MCQ is beta HCG is going to be produced from syncytial trophoblast, hormonally bioactive area, that is syncytial trophoblast. Now, this beta HCG, it's a glycoprotein. Okay, it's a hormone with the maximum glycoprotein in it. Having said that, what is the half-life of this beta HCG? It is 36 hours. What are the subunits? This beta HCG, it is having two subunits, alpha subunit, beta subunit. Important point is the alpha subunit of beta HCG is similar to FSH, LH and TSH. Guys, what are the subunits? Alpha and beta. The alpha subunit of beta HCG is similar to TSH, FSH and LH. But the beta subunit, it is specific to the HCG. That is the reason why we are calling it as beta HCG. The beta HCG, or I should say the beta subunit, is specific for the HCG. So, please concentrate, beta subunit, it is specific, and beta subunit, it is functionally similar to. Remember guys, alpha subunit, it is structurally similar to FSH, LH, TSH, no doubt. But the beta HCG, it is similar to, functionally similar to LH. Very, very important question. Okay, why? Because see, LH hormone, in the basics we have discussed that LH is the hormone which maintains the corpus luteum. Am I right or not? LH maintains corpus luteum. Beta HCG also maintains the corpus luteum. So function is same. Okay, beta subunit of beta HCG is functionally similar to LH, because LH and the beta subunit of HCG, they maintains the corpus luteum. Okay. Now, what is the doubling time? See, doubling time is almost 48 hours. Okay, in the early pregnancy, for every 48 hours, the beta HCG values doubles. Doubles means almost it increases by 66%. Okay, not 100%. There is 66% raise for every 48 hours. This is known as the 𝐒𝐧𝐼R's principle. Okay, every 48 hours, beta HCG value will be doubling up. Now, this beta HCG is going to be seen during pregnancy definitely. Now, when it is detected in the maternal blood, after how much time after fertilization? See, detected in the maternal blood 8 days. 8 days after fertilization. That is on day 22nd. Okay, as early as 8 days after fertilization, you can see this beta HCG in the maternal blood. What is the most sensitive test to pick up the beta HCG? Okay, what is the most sensitive test to pick up the levels of beta HCG from the blood? See, it is FIA, fluorescence immunoassay. Okay, fluorescence immunoassay is the most sensitive test than radio immunoassay. Previously, we used to say radio immunoassay is the most sensitive test, but better than radio immunoassay, fluorescence immunoassay is best to pick up even small levels of beta HCG. Now, maximum beta HCG in serum. Please concentrate in this image. In the early pregnancy, the beta HCG values are spiking up. See, the maximum amount of beta HCG is seen during 10 weeks. Maximum levels of beta HCG. 10 week means weekly there are 7 days. Okay, 1 week have 7 days. 10 week means 70 days. So somewhere around 70 days after fertilization, the beta HCG values are maximum. But after 10 weeks, the beta HCG value starts to fall down, and by 16th week, okay, there is very least amount of beta HCG. So important MCQ, sir, maximum beta HCG is seen in serum by 10 weeks, okay, somewhere around 60 to 70 days. Lowest level of beta HCG is seen by 16th week. Okay, on 16th week, lowest level of beta HCG will be seen. Now, after this, let's talk about the functions of the beta HCG. The main function of the beta HCG is to maintain the corpus luteum. And this beta HCG acts on the fetal testis and helps in the secretion of testosterone. Okay, so beta HCG, it acts as a stimulus for the Leydig cells to produce the testosterone, and this beta HCG also prevent the rejection of the fetus, prevents fetal rejection. Okay, actually fetus is something not related to the mother, right? Okay, fetus is something extrinsic. It is actually a foreign body kind of thing, but mother is not rejecting it. Why? Because beta HCG prevents the fetal rejection, doesn't allow the maternal body to reject the fetus. Okay, that's also a very important function. Now after this, please concentrate here. Let's see what are the conditions where beta HCG is increased and beta HCG is decreased. Okay, see here, beta HCG is increased in Down's syndrome, twin pregnancy, molar pregnancy, choriocarcinoma, and EBF. What exactly is EBF? Erythroblastosis fetalis. So beta HCG is increased in, very important, Down syndrome, twin pregnancy, molar pregnancy, choriocarcinoma, and erythroblastosis fetalis. The same beta HCG is going to be decreased in trisomies. Now you can ask me, sir, Down syndrome is also a trisomy. Down syndrome is trisomy 21. See, except Downs, in all trisomies, beta HCG is going to be decreased. With ectopic pregnancy, beta HCG is going to be decreased, and even with the abortion, ectopic pregnancy, and all trisomies except Downs, beta HCG values will be coming down, and beta HCG values are increased in the following conditions discussed, completed. After this, let's talk about a hormone which is known as placental lactogen, human placental lactogen, which is also known as human chorionic somatotropin. Somatotropin, which means growth hormone, right? So, similar to this, human placental lactogen is similar to growth hormone and also prolactin. Very important MCQ. Human placental lactogen is similar to growth hormone, prolactin, and this human placental lactogen is also getting produced from the placenta. Now, it's a marker of placental functioning, MCQ. This human placental lactogen, HPL, it's a marker of placental functioning. How good the placenta is functioning, you can know it by knowing the levels of the human placental lactogen. See, this is the hormone produced maximum at term. Which hormone from the placenta is produced maximally? Human placental lactogen. And what is the function of this human placental lactogen? See, this human placental lactogen actually causes insulin resistance in the mother, so that mother's tissues are not actually responding to the insulin. So more amount of insulin will be seen in the mother, but still glucose is not going to be taken up by the tissues. So more insulin will be there, still glucose levels are going to be seen high in the maternal serum. What I am trying to put into your mind, this human placental lactogen actually causes insulin resistance. Because of the insulin resistance, lot of insulin will be seen in the maternal blood. Also, lot of glucose will be seen because of insulin resistance. So high amounts of glucose is present. How this is important? These high amounts of glucose will be utilized by the baby. These high amounts of glucose are kept for the development of the baby. So how mother will derive energy? Okay, if this glucose is going to the development of the fetus, how can mother have her normal metabolism? See, this human placental lactogen will stimulate the lipolysis in the mother. Okay, it is stimulating the lipolysis in the mother, so that lipids are going to be broken down into fatty acid. Now these fatty acids will be used by the mother for her metabolism, and glucose will be used by the baby for its development. Okay, let's see what are the functions of this human placental lactogen. It causes lipolysis in the mother, so that fatty acids will be used by the mother for its metabolism, and it causes insulin resistance. Insulin resistance leads to increased glucose levels in the blood, and this glucose will be utilized by the fetus for its development. Now after this, let's see this point, very important point. Increased glucose values in the pregnancy is due to insulin resistance, no doubt. And the insulin resistance is because of human placental lactogen. Remember that not only human placental lactogen, estrogens, progesterone, cortisol and prolactin, all these hormones can also cause insulin resistance. But the main important hormone is human placental lactogen. Okay. Now last MCQ is, when will be the maximum insulin resistance seen during pregnancy? Maximum insulin resistance is seen during 24 to 28 weeks of the pregnancy. Having said that, we have discussed all important hormones from the placenta, all important points about the placental development. In the next video, let's discuss about the abnormalities of placenta. Hope the video is helpful. Thank you.